You guys have probably seen a lot of big streamers have been given access to Stormgate for a couple hours to stream it. I was not one of them. I will be casting DreamHack Atlanta. I'm leaving in 2 days. I've been watching all these streams, and one of the ones I really liked was watching Grubby toy with the UI. Ultimately, if you're going to have a good long-term RTS, it has to have a UI that you can go into, change stuff, tinker with. It has to be responsive. It has to be able to have a lot of units interacting with each other, colliding with each other. So Grubby tests some stuff out. I thought this was really interesting, taking a look at how the engine actually operates, how responsive it is. Remember, this is still in alpha, so obviously it's not the finished product yet. I guess it's in beta now, but yeah, it's not the finished product yet. So we're just getting a taste.
Okay, so let's first talk about the basics of the game. And then I'll show you guys some movement with units and kind of like how you can expect the average game flow of the game to be.
GG.
So you can, right now it uses a grid hotkey setup where A is here and this would be S and this would be D and this would be F and this would be G.
So they have it set up. This probably won't, if you're watching this channel, you've probably played enough RTS games. This doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but they have a grid system where you can access any of the attacking units to build, any of the structures to build, and basically summon up a worker. Like, let's say you want to build something. It'll just grab a worker for you instead of you having to select one. Now, again, this doesn't really mean a whole lot to like you or me because we can probably play at a pretty decent level, but to get new people involved, I think this is pretty cool.
This music sounds very Frank Klepacki, by the way. So you press A, you make bobs, which are your workers. You've got your 2 resources. This resource is called Luminite, and this one is called Therium. This sandwich is the supply, and this is your game time. Now,
this was something that when I was playing, I had a hard time with. I think I will get good at it over time, but see how the down here, this is where your information is. I'm so used to that being at the top right. And then it occurred to me, like, my God, I've been playing an RTS game where a huge part of information is at the top right, and then the mini-map is at the bottom left. Like, I'm making my eyes move like that. I'm wondering if they're going to have this all be detachable and rearrangeable. Because almost in my head, I'm thinking, well, maybe you should just have all the important information over here. But anyways, yeah, they basically are trying to make this more optimized so that your eyes aren't looking all over the map, all over the place. All over the screen, I should say, for all the important information.
Now, in an effort to make the game accessible for beginners, while at the same time allowing old functionality for veteran RTS players, you can select a worker and then press build structure and then build a command post. So click this, ZA, and you make it.
100% looks like an SC2 mod. Perfect. So hype.
But there's also an alternative way to make buildings, which is via this global menu that does not require you to first click a worker. And you would do this via pressing Q, and it goes to the building menu, and then you select one of these, for instance, command post, and watch what it does to the workers. I currently don't have any workers selected, and it immediately takes a worker from here. Now, as usual in these kind of games, like in StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2, you've got your main resource, Luminite, and you've got your secondary resource, Therium. Generally, Therium is going to be your technology cap, the cap that most limits high technology units, and therefore it is considered to be a bit more precious and more bad to interrupt. If you were to actually put it in Warcraft 3 terms, gold is more important than lumber. It's actually flipped in Warcraft 3. So anytime you build a building in Warcraft 3, you actually use a lumber peon. Here, this is
I actually did not know that, by the way.
limiting factor, and Therium is usually in greater supply. As an example, you've got your expansion here, loads of mineral fields. There's a Therium. There must be... Oh, there's some expansions with just Therium, actually, and no Luminite, showing how valuable Therium is. So you generally don't want to mess with it. So the game smartly reads that if you are going to make a building, that it should first take a worker from the Luminite deposit. And it goes a little further than that, because which one will it choose? Does it choose the closest one, which would be this guy, right? It should be the top one that's closest. But it didn't. It actually took a guy from here. Why? Why did it not take the closest one? Why did it take this one? It's because he was on the outward trajectory to start collecting Therium. It didn't want to interrupt someone that's mid-mining. So it was actually able to parse the most idle worker. It's not even he is idle. He's the most idle among them because he hasn't started a mining trip. Nor does it seem to ever choose someone that has Therium on their back right now, that's on a trajectory home, which would actually waste some of your Therium if in the process of going there, the unit would die. So that's pretty cool.
So basically, this is a way that the game, if you're using that more beginner-friendly interface, you won't be at risk of like bungling your build because you're taking a worker that would already have a resource and then making it do something. So it keeps it clean, which is good. Like imagine if you had a worker that took that off of Therium, and then you were, set, and you didn't know that because you just had the game selected for you. That could be a huge issue because then, especially with this resource where it seems like you only have a couple of units mining on it, that could completely throw off the build. So it's really cool they have that design in mind to basically kind of build pad for newer players.
Now, I need to say what I'm seeing here. I'm noticing some lag. I don't know if you guys are noticing it, but there's some lag in the movement. There's some stutters. Yeah, it doesn't look too good. All I can say, I don't know the explanation, the reason, or whatever. It's just an assumption. When I played this previously, when there was no server stress, I didn't see that lag. I should have used AI. All right, screw it, I'll use the AI. NVIDIA DLSS. And now let's see. No, it's still there. Okay, so it's not the NVIDIA DLSS. All right, let's look past the FPS jitter, which one would assume if they are competent, they're gonna fix it over time, right? Check this out. He's got resources in his control, right? He's got Luminite that he's ready to bring back. What do you think would happen if I right-click him here? He just moves there, right? What would happen if I right-click him to the command center, or whatever it's called, the command post? He returns the resources. But what would happen if you send this guy on top of the Luminite deposit? The reason I'm doing all these tests is because I want to show you guys the skeleton underneath, how the engine works and whether it's working in a good way. This is the kind of testing I do when I'm new to an RTS. I want to see how well...
By the way, if you want to get good at a game, like doing what Grubby's doing, where you sit down and you look at exactly how things respond, not how you expect them to respond, and get all those little nuances down. That is, in my experience, with all the best players I have ever met or talked to, they really took the time to not just grind out games over and over and over again, but to actually like truly understand how every spell unit functions. I don't know. It's if you want to get better, definitely sit down and kind of learn it for yourself.
Under the hood. Anyone can show you gameplay, but I want to show you how it's working under the hood. When he clicks on this, I believe when you click a worker with gold in Warcraft
I'm sorry. By the
3,
way, chat, you guys are saying the lag is fixed here. They did some fix for it, so this is not. It'll look a lot smoother in a couple minutes.
And you click them on the mine, they will walk to the mine, and upon reaching, realize they already have the money, and then they go home. This guy immediately returns home. I think that's a good quality of life AI improvement, recognizing that the job that you want to engage him in, getting resources, that he's already got it. He's already got the quest item. He can now go collect the reward. I think that's pretty smart. It's better this way. Of course, there might be some purists that say the game shouldn't do all these things for you. But I always like to see, does it make the display of skill from high-level players better when you do it yourself instead of the game doing it for you? Is this an exciting thing to watch, or is it a satisfying thing to need to do yourself? If the answer is yes to either one, I'm all for unnecessary complexity and not holding the hand for the player. StarCraft 1 has a lot of unnecessary complexity and stupid movement that actually allow players like Flash to shine over other players. But I don't think it is good on a base design level to have something be dumber just so that pros can show off their skills. I always hope that pros can show off their skills via other more interesting, flashy mechanical prowess, while at the same time using their strategy and out-strategizing the opponent and then using that to win. So I think the fact that workers with money immediately return home is a good thing. And that's also because if you really are a pro and you really have skill, you would already not click a guy with money to go to the money source. You would make him return it. So it really doesn't even matter for high-level players that this is a thing. But it is so helpful for low-level players that it is a thing. So this is my little soapbox about this kind of quality of life thing. Now, do I have a move command? Yes, it's F. So can I use spam move to surround like in Warcraft 3? So actually one thing that you're noticing, allied units have an automatic red carpet mode. What am I calling a red carpet mode? Red carpet is like when you let someone walk, right? So this is a quality of life for anti-cluttering. If this unit is standing here idle, the game recognizes that if you want to move this group of units here or past here, that he will automatically make way. And after he made way, he will actually return to the original position.
So this is very very different, specifically starting from Brood War, where Brood War units won't move unless they're like glitched off. But like if I try to make a nexus as an example, and there's like a zealot standing where the nexus is, it is, excuse me, it is impossible. So the idea that units would at least be able to somewhat relocate, like I like what he called it, a red carpet mode. I've never heard that before. But you know, anyways, I'll let him go on.
Ways to code this, and I believe this is the right way. If you code it differently, it could be saying like, hey, yo, thank you so much, Justin, appreciate it. If you were to code it differently, you could like push him out of the way and then he could stay where you left him, like right here. That would be one way to code it. Another way to code it would be the unit doesn't move at all and they instead flow around him like water around a rock. Yeah. But the problem with that is sometimes if you have units standing like so, is that you create this wall that is really tedious to get past. So they would like try to get past it, but they can't because it's all blocked. Right? And this can be really frustrating because then you get the Dragoon syndrome from StarCraft 1. Now, how did I achieve this? I actually hit the hold position command. And this is actually something you can do by choice. Now they will definitely hold. Order selected units to stay where they are, attack units within range. Units will neither chase down enemies nor move to engage, nor move out of the way for your own units. So this feels very Dragoon-like in how the units are quite stupid to get past it. And in fact, one may want to argue that you don't want this. This guy right here. I mean, it's still better than a Dragoon because the Dragoon would actually do this. When you move him here, he will just start walking the opposite direction. Alright? Hey, he made it! Yes, Bob! He made it! Alright, so, and this is because they're all in hold position. Now, you do want hold position, of course, to work because it allows you to make a full wall off. And time will tell, the meta will tell actually how important it is to create full wall-offs like this with units or with buildings. In StarCraft 1, this is incredibly important. Yeah. And in StarCraft 2, it's also important. Why? It's because Zerglings are so fast and destructive. Yo, Rain, thank you so much, man. Zerglings in StarCraft 1 and 2 are so fast and destructive to worker lines that if you don't make a full wall-off, they will wreck your economy and you'll just lose. So what you often have in StarCraft is that you'll need to have a bunch of buildings that block ramps, like so.
Yeah, this is something I think we definitely don't know yet with the game is like, okay, you know, when you play any RTS game now, I mean, especially in StarCraft, but it's true in Warcraft, it's true in Age of Empires. Every building, there should be some idea of why you put it there. Do you want to have it where you can have units get to them to attack them faster? Do you want to try to make a wall? Do you want to have this building put far away so you can hide it? And I can tell you with Stormgate, I don't think we know yet, but it's going to be really interesting to see what the meta is for building placement and developing. Like, we don't know if you're going to need a wall in with buildings or not, like he's talking about. or if we're gonna have to play, a very different looking game where maybe that's not the priority, is kind of caging yourself off.
Do I have enough money? Yeah. You'll block ramps, and then you'll plug the gap with 1 or 2 units. I think I will try a game restart and see whether that helps at all. But maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Okay. Maybe change settings for also to make it better. I'm pretty sure it's not my settings. I think this is a network issue. Alright, so this is a choke, and now units cannot move in. Alright, let's first do a human versus AI Vanguard slot. And I'm just gonna start. Now keep in mind that my builds are not gonna be fully optimized. I've not been grinding this, AFK grinding this off stream. So maps generally have resource expansion locations, but they also have creep camps. And the creep camps remind me a lot of Command & Conquer in that barracks. They remind me of Command & Conquer. No, not Command & Conquer, sorry. They remind me of Quake. In that they give temporary
Yeah, dude, when he said
power-ups.
Command & Conquer, I was like, what is he talking about? Which Command & Conquer is that? Okay, yeah, sorry.
I don't know if
Quake
any of
makes
you
sense.
remember Quake or Unreal Tournament, but in those games, you get temporary power-ups when you zip around the map, and then you pick up some power-up, and you get like speed, or you get damage, or you get healing or armor. It's kind of like that here. So in Warcraft 3, when you take a creep camp, you get gold and XP for your hero. But Stormgate doesn't have heroes in one-on-one. It only has heroes in cooperative. So no XP. I don't actually know if you get golds. Golds?
Less than 3.
I don't know if you get golds for creeping in this game. But you do get buffs. So let's start mining some of this. And I'm gonna make a bunch of scouts. And we'll see if we can take a creep camp. I believe scouts have automatic regeneration.
So in Warcraft 3, I mean, the whole game was about creeping and leveling up your hero and figuring out, what items you could get from a creep camp, and then, how to strategically use that against your opponent. Here, it seems like the creeps are more mild, just from a StarCraft perspective. I like that he mentioned Quake, because that would not have even occurred to me to compare it to Quake, which is like it's a temporary buff. But yeah, it seems like, and again, these creeps could be placeholders. The game's not done yet, so it may be a lot more dramatic later on. I mean, but for now, yeah, I mean, like, this is just a health buff, a creep camp, so you kill him and your units can heal.
So we'll make a bunch of scouts and we'll farm with it. Maybe they have automatic regeneration, maybe they don't. I'm not sure, actually.
I don't
Can I
know.
even defeat this? 48 health, 30 health. He's doing 18 damage per hit. Nope, it's too strong, and I just lost the dog. Hey, how come I lost the dog? I thought I switched
That's so
aggro
funny.
to the other.
I guess it doesn't actually necessarily default to the next unit if it's microed away, but it'll just stay on target of the first unit. The first unit that's attacking it.
Small skill issue. Normally doesn't happen. Where's my supply? 19 out of 30. I thought I cycled out one unit. Where are the other creep camps? Oh, here we are. Are the creep camps denoted with the pyramid icon on the map? Yeah,
Our
okay, so
forces are under
all the
attack.
pyramid icons are creep camps.
Yeah,
It's
there it
still
is.
attacking this. Oh, this spider has a gun. Okay, that's 40 luminite. So that's the benefit, that's the advantage of that.
It looks like it targets the lowest HP and range of its attack. I think what it's actually doing is it'll stay on target of the unit until it gets out of a certain range, and then it'll default onto a new target.
One. So let's go to the next creep camp. Creep camps respawn here. Can I just build it right next to the deposit? Oh, I see.
By the way, I think from what people have said, you always want the gold mine and the what is this called, the command post, to be at a 90-degree angle. Basically make it a straight line to mine efficiently.
You can build it right next to the Therium deposit, but it cannot be built right next to the Luminite deposit, showing that Luminite is
Our forces are under attack.
it's actually limited by... Okay, we got another 40 Luminite from that. It's limited by distance, and this one is limited more by the amount of workers you can put on it. But this is a vision camp. By the way, this was a health camp, so if I do want to... Oh, I just realized... Okay, you can group command post that is finished with a command post that's not finished. Okay, good. So let's use this to try and get the health camp so we can kind of heal up our units again. Make a supply depot. Still getting used to the hotkeys, of course. A funny thing, and I don't know if that's still in the game, but a funny thing about this deposit, besides the fact that I can I build something on it? Defensive structure, biokinetics lab, research. These things, I don't know if it's still the case, but before, if you don't mine from this for a while, it becomes enriched and it actually increases the yield.
Yeah, that's something I'm trying to wrap my head around. It does seem like there's a balancing act with mining the Therium. I think particularly when it comes to stuff like that, I need players who are better and smarter than me to figure that out, but we'll see what kind of role that plays. But yeah, basically, it seems like if you mine Therium, it takes... It'll over time reduce the amount that you can get from the patches. It's almost like patches disappear, but if you leave the Therium be, it's like it kind of overgrows. CNC gold method, yeah. Or I think they did that with Tiberium as well. Something along those lines. I don't have the rule set down yet, but there seems to be some idea like that at play.
Did I stop making my depot? Oh yeah, I did. Interesting.
Under attack.
I didn't know that you could just take them off like that. Okay, health camp. They're all regenerating. Do I have to stay here to regen? Let's test it by moving this one out of range. 55. Yeah, you have to stay here. Okay, in a previous build, you could take the buff with you, if I'm not mistaken. Can raise the volume a bit. So let's make a mech bay. We'll make a sentry post, which is a defensive building. We'll just make everything. We have the barracks, mech bay, habitat, biokinetics lab. You can group a building before you start it. So you're essentially... Oh wow. Oh, it lasts for another 200 seconds, this health camp. So now you could, like, in theory, start attacking. And then start cycling units out of the fight and go back to heal. Resource camp. So let's say if I make like a supply depot here, I could group it up before it's actually finished. Oh, it shows when it respawns. That's nice. They got that from Dota or Common Sense, because that's a good thing that these things respawn.
Our forces are under attack.
Yes. I'm here to assist.
More barracks.
Unable to build.
So I can just QD. That's quite nice actually, that you don't need to select workers first. You can just do QD. Now the question is, do those workers go back to what they were working on when you were done? Because if you're gonna make it easy for the nublets, and you use the global building menu to make a barracks, then I would only imagine that they are also immediately given a return command so that they can go back to work what they were working on.
Yes. Move order received.
Let's see. You're a QD? Oh, thank you. You too.
Constructing.
I think they're gonna go back to work. This one.
All right, Twitch chat sizes is fixed.
Maybe they were not working? No.
How can I help?
I don't know if that's something that you might want to add, right? There's a health cam.
Coordinates locked.
Where's the next Luminite? It doesn't feel like there's a lot of proximity Luminite camps nearby. So you've got resource camp, vision camp. You had a speed camp here I saw.
One thing with this as well, guys,
can
keep in mind that like map design, every time an RTS comes out, whatever the original maps look like, they oftentimes end up being totally different later on. I mean, if you guys remember Steps of War, like in StarCraft 2, and how people didn't realize, like, oh, you should never have a map that is actually that small. There's probably going to be changes and evolutions in how the maps are made. Metropolis, wasn't it Metalopolis? But yeah, I mean, so whatever the map layout is, it's like, you know, one thing with RTS is the map can be anything that the creators make it. So it could have more creeps, less creeps, more therium, less therium. So just something to keep in mind.
See the Luminite deposits. Oh, it's these things. Oh, I misequate what they are. This is the Luminite. Yeah. So what can I get here? Allows lancers to increase their attack and movement speed each time they're damaged. Increases the movement speed of scouts, that's the doggies, and grants them on hit. Reduces target biological unit movement speed. Hey, this used to be baseline, where you would slow them.
Ready to work.
This is the Luminite. Maybe I switched up the names, that's fine. We got Exos here.
Yeah, Luminite's the gold, basically. Therium's the, I don't know, Vespian gas for Tiberium, whatever you want to call it.
Ready to work.
Health camp. I noticed, by the way, the resource camp is now level 2. So when you take it for the second time, it actually gives more. Because we took it when it was level 1. You know what it should also say? It should say when it's respawning what level it's going to be. Because it's possible that you don't remember, or that the opponent took it, and now I have no information.
It's Theorem, not Ethereum. But that's what I first heard too when they said the name.
It's already respawned, but prior to respawn, it should also say. So now there's a big spider and a small one. It's significantly stronger, and I'm assuming it's going to give something like 80 resources, or maybe even more. 40. 40 again. Hey, by the way, is it true? Wait, can this unload? Load.
No, the normal unit movement is not like. It'll actually be
the
fixed
big
in this
one gave
video.
80.
You'll see.
Ah, okay. You guys keeping me honest.
Bot activated.
QS.
They push through some kind of fix during this.
So if they don't automatically go back to work, then you have to do this. Give a shift command back. Oh, we got hedgehogs. Does the mining camp have a resource limit, like 1,000 therium?
Boot up complete.
Let's see. This camp does not advertise any limit, from what I can tell. It might have one, but it doesn't advertise it. This camp also no limit. And I feel like there's also no enrichment mechanic anymore, which was a thing before.
Yeah, maybe he's right. I remember that being there, but I guess they're gonna keep toying with this stuff.
It's all unlimited. Let's try to see how it is if we go inside. Oh, you can put one unit inside. It has no attack sound yet.
Yeah, this is one of the things. This is obviously going to get fixed later, but a lot of the units don't have sounds. So it's kind of a funny feeling when you have like game music going on, and then when you click on some of the units, they're responsive, but when a fight happens, it's silent. Obviously, that's not the way the game's going to be. It's just not done yet, but it is. It does create a different feel for sure, and can be a little bit confusing when you get in a big fight.
There's no sound yet for this sentry, this flak cannon. So if I unload all, does it have an attack? Oh, okay. So now it's doing like 10 damage per hit, but if there's a unit inside, then it's doing much faster attack and more damage per hit.
So this is almost like a bunker that gets like a little baby attack, but there's almost no moment I think you would ever want to just have the bunker be empty. Channel points will be redeemed. You can redeem them after this video is done, Gauntlet.
Unload. It uses the same hotkey as AoE 4 to load units, but that's because F is move. In AoE 4, it's
What's the sitch?
it's the load command. So let's see what happens with the healing camp now that it respawned. Does it heal like at a faster rate?
Wonderful.
Ready for anything.
It does, Zath.
75. I don't know if it's healing faster.
Gunner here.
Oh look, this is the on the hunt
Talk to me.
by the doggies. Oh yeah, one thing I tested last time. When you press Z, you get the on the hunt, which is a great increase in scout vision radius. We also see Veterancy, which we'll talk about soon. The question is, 3 of them have on the hunt available and 1 doesn't. In StarCraft 1, when you press Z, all 4 activate their radius at the same time. But Warcraft 3 learned to stagger these commands. So what happens here? I press Z on all of them, and the front one here happened to cast it. You press it again, and another one ends up casting it. I don't know if it's by coincidence that it's maximum far away. So this is how you want it to be, of course. So that you can, when you hit it, you don't waste the cooldown on all of them. I also remember there was a way to kill trees. Can you kill trees with workers? Yes, you can. Can you kill trees with units? No, you cannot.
Yeah, so this is something I didn't realize.
So yeah, there's no lumber
Initially.
mining, but you can kill trees.
So these workers for this faction can actually tear down trees. They don't mine the trees, but they have a utility that lets them destroy trees where the other attacking units can't, which means the map is going to be a lot more, malleable and pliable as far as kind of recreating the way things can move around. Even in early game, this could probably create new types of rushes.
With workers, which could lead to some pretty cool cheesy plays if trees were an integral part of someone's defense, which they are. And we've also seen in gameplay videos already that you can blast through trees with certain units.
Waiting further
So look, we have created a path through the trees now.
Yeah.
And in fact, units do not have a lot of visual clarity in here because of the shadows, which begs the question, can shadows be turned off if you so choose? No.
Waiting further.
So that's a nice little stealth buff as well.
Confirmed. Moving down. Will comply.
My frame rate is 60. Why do you have 60 frame rate limit? Because when I run it faster, keep in mind I'm streaming as well, guys. When I run it any higher, I do not have good streaming frame rates. It will start lagging. So what other buildings are there? Oh, look. It is not unlimited. Although it does not advertise its limit, my Therium deposit has dwindled to a maximum utilization of 1, supposedly. Though the visual evidence seems to contradict it. What we're seeing now is an impoverishment of the extra fields. These fields, I believe, are maybe the enrichment fields, which allows for multiple unit mining at the same time. But once they're all gone,
How can I help?
I think you can only continue to work with 1 at a time, and you would need to expand until you haven't mined it for a while so that they can slowly start expanding the extra fields again. It grows back, if you will. But if you keep over mining it, eventually your rate will drop. I think that's what's going on. And this one expired. So although it doesn't advertise its amount, there is a maximum. And in fact, it took about 14 minutes to completely deplete the Therium deposit
14
here.
minutes.
Relocation
Right, it's good to know. We've got some long distance mining here as well. And small point, you can only see the worker count if you have vision of the thing, which I think you should always be able to see it. If I put 12 workers on that field for long distance mining, I would like to know it's 12 workers.
Oh,
on
I don't know
that
if I
field
agree
and
with
not
him on
just
that.
when
I
it's in
feel like
vision.
you have to not know just because otherwise they could be mining from that and that would give that away. Is there a supply cap? I believe it's 200 of 200, like in StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. And isn't Age of Empires 200 as well? Age 2 and Age 4.
What's the sitch?
All right, so let's go actually.
I see
a
people
fight.
in YouTube chat talking about this. What it looks more like StarCraft 2 or Warcraft 3. I think it plays a little bit more like StarCraft 2, but it looks like Warcraft 3, especially with all the green and the trees and the diamond shape of the luminite or gold mine looking thing.
You guys haven't seen any fighting yet, and let's see what other buildings there are.
Stormgate is 300,
we need
Age
to
is
upgrade
200.
our central command.
Oh, okay, that's news to me.
In order to get more buildings, going tier 2 essentially, which I think is happening very fast in its current build anyway.
For anything.
Ready when you are.
I aim to please.
Let's get crazy.
Mech units, please. Yeah, let's check it out. So we're already tier 2. Upgrade to high command. Requirements coming soon. All right. So let's see what we've got available now. We can now make a hangar bay.
Our
We can.
forces are under
We're also
attack.
fighting.
What's the sitch?
How did I lose to AI last game?
Let's get crazy.
So how micro war units? They respond really well, especially from just coming from having tried out Warhammer Age of Sigmar. It felt pretty bad that units respond so slowly. They respond quite well here. Let's see. There's the machine lab. There is
I think you can.
the scrap
Yeah, you can go
yard.
check out the
Receives
Kickstarter. I
gathered
think you go to
theory.
playstormgate.com. It should link you to the Kickstarter.
So scrapyard is like a mini expansion.
Yeah, this is like a lumber mill, I think, basically, from Warcraft.
Receives gathered therium. Receives all resources, right? So, oh wow, so there's like a alternative mining camp, which is of course exactly what you might want to do here, since this is
Yeah.
a therium only location.
I believe the beta's
What about
open.
modding in this game? Will
I
it
was
be
playing
easy?
this
I don't
weekend.
know.
Hey, thank you for the super chat.
Therium is
Appreciate
the
it.
second resource.
Thank you again, Stefan.
Luminite would be, I guess, the gold, and therium is like Vespene gas.
Give me them orders.
Well, there's 2 races in the game right now. There's going to be a third.
By the way, I think
Later.
they fixed the lag. If you guys notice, I think that they actually started it. Yeah. So, or sorted it, excuse me. So if you notice, things are moving smoother now. It was a little bit laggy at the start.
All right, let's make some units. We've got an evac
Our
and a
forces
hornet.
are under attack.
Yeah, see how much smoother this is going now? This is what the game looks like.
Talk to me.
And then we have medtech. Support infantry can use med patch and can be upgraded to use nano swarm and system shock. What else have we got? We've got upgrades here. Hunker down allows hedgehogs, which is like the vulture bikes, I suppose, to deploy, increasing their range of their anti-air attack and decreasing their ammo recharge time while disabling their anti-ground attack.
Give me them orders.
So this is the hedgehog. Very slow ground attack. Comes in salvos of 3. Let's just get everything. Oh, I noticed you cannot read the tooltip anymore when it's in production, which would be nice if you could. So let's just read it first. Research jump jets. Allows Vulcans to use the jump jet ability. Vulcan, I think, is the base unit. Oh, no, it's not. Sentinel. Where's the Vulcan? Oh, here we go. Ah, yeah. We saw this in the gameplay trailer. Like Tychus, with the minigun that keeps firing and has like a kind of pointy cleave attack.
just go check the
I
Kickstarter,
get it from the human side.
Edric. All the information will be on the Kickstarter. You can scroll down and look, and it'll say. Sorry, I might not be in the loop with all that.
But as a demon side, why would you need those resources? They just spawn, no? The Infernals also need resources to train units and buildings. And build buildings.
Lay it on me.
So this is the evac.
On my way.
Confirmed. Moving down.
Oh,
Still here.
okay.
Your directive.
I feel like the lag is somewhat better now.
Transiting now.
Is it still lagging even?
Ready.
Was I on DX12?
Commencing. Your directive. Plotting course. Yes?
I feel like it doesn't lag anymore, right?
Moving out.
Maybe I was on DX12 or
Plotting
something.
course.
So let's try the body block again.
Yes? Relocation commencing. Coordinates locked. Coordinates
Pretty good,
locked.
right? Don't you think?
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
It's been better for a while. Yeah, I just realized it's been better for a while.
Order received. Move order received. Coordinates locked.
I feel like I delayed him to get to his final location quite a bit.
Moving down.
G5 in the chat
They
asked,
fixed
so are
it?
there no
Yeah.
heroes?
Awaiting further
The
instructions.
dev team fixed it. They were saying in chat the engineers was working on
There are heroes in the co-op, I believe, but not in the 1v1.
fixing the lag. Oh, I see.
Transiting now.
I am very interested in this kind of thing because this is the ultimate skill expression to like block people.
Transiting now. Move order received.
In fact, you can kind of like you can kind of drive him off the road.
Coordinates
You can
locked.
push him off the road
Moving out.
like a very illegal F1 driver
Your directive
or a particularly
will follow. Plotting course.
rowdy bout of bumper cars.
Relocation commencing.
Thank you for the sub, Fish.
Alright, Bob overcharge is grant all nearby Bobs increased damage and 100 armor for 30 seconds. And then there's deploy sensor drone, launches a drone across the map granting vision. No, we're not throwing a dog with a... Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go on a limb that throwing an antenna dog is actually a placeholder graphic. I don't know if this is just me being completely wild and out there. Did you see that it tickled the trees? Look. Kind of realistic, insofar as a flying dog is realistic. Can we keep this though? And can we have like scared yipping? Or like excited yipping? Let's do excited yipping. Yeah, I love it, keep it. Alright.
Talk to me.
Ready.
Talk to me.
Okay, let's check out. I want to test the mechanics of the unit that is
Talk
carrying.
to me.
Oh, it's slowly losing health. It's slowly losing timed life. See, I want to check the mechanic of the dropship.
What's the plan?
So this is my dropship.
Transiting now.
It has.
En route.
Does it have acceleration?
Transiting now.
Yes, it has acceleration and deceleration.
On my way.
Do you notice that?
Transiting
When you hit
now.
stop, it still keeps moving.
Holding here.
So by adding
Talk to
different
me.
unit characterization, different unit perspective to different units, you create a kind of unique feel for every unit, right? It is possible to make every unit respond instantly to a stop command, but that makes them feel more samey.
What's the plan?
So I believe this will be done either as a balance
on me.
decision to make them more cumbersome to control, while still feeling also like realistic, and also to give each unit different character. So
En
it has acceleration, which means it does not reach top
On my
speed
way.
immediately, but it mostly has deceleration. I would say the deceleration is at least
Lay it
3
on
times
me.
as strong as the
On my
acceleration.
way.
Now this flyer
Transiting now.
identifier, this little point that points at where it is on the true map, is very useful to have, but if you don't want it, because it doesn't look good, you can turn it off.
I think you never want to turn that
Namely,
off.
like so.
On my way.
So you can see how it might be useful, because
On my
it
way.
is kind of a semi-3D world with shadows that do not help you to center a unit
Ready.
on a point in the map. Is he here? Is he here? Is he here? And if you want to target him, how it actually works is you just target
my
him, right?
way.
Like you click on his model. You don't
Stay
click on the
put.
circle. If you click anywhere on the
Locked and
model,
loaded. Locked and loaded.
you start shooting him. And this needs to be quite robust. So for instance, I'm looking to see where he's targetable. This is actually a very custom process for game development, because in theory, you want to target someone anytime you're within their selection circle, and you want to target someone anytime you are targeting its model. But when there's lots of units overlapping, you want to make sure you don't target the
Talk to
wrong
me.
thing, or to be more clear, you want to make sure you can target the right thing. Warcraft 3 does this really, really well. when
On the
many
double.
units are occupying the same space, it is still always possible to target the thing that you want to be targeting. Units are now not really occupying the same space, as you can find if you turn this on again. They're not
Ready.
really occupying the same space. As you can see, the air unit is distinctly south of the ground units. But because it's a bird eye isometric view, visually they do occupy the same space. So now I'm going to test how the units respond to targeting. So I can target this unit, obviously, right, by selecting over it. I can target the marine or whatever it's called underneath it. I can target this guy, but can I target these guys while they're underneath? Well, technically you should not be able to target almost not be able to target the one underneath it, but I am able to do it by selecting right here. Now, in a hectic battle, you may not be wanting to do it this way. After all, keep in mind, perspective changes depending on where my camera is. We can now see all of them. And now we can see all of them on the other side, right? So, but I still find it quite encouraging that it is possible to select him.
Look at that.
When the game essentially recognizes you're mostly not hovering over that ship. You are more hovering over the unit underneath it than you are probably hovering over the ship. Though, funnily enough, the breathing, pulsing movement of the ship occasionally makes it target.
The gyrations of the ship will occasionally push it into the targeting the ship over the thing below it.
Targetable by my cursor. Did you see that? I didn't do anything, but for a small period of time, there we go. The ship becomes targetable. And why is this relevant and why is this interesting? It's because it shows that it's using its visual model, not its actual placement on the map, to co-decide where it is and whether it's targetable. And I find that it's working quite well and robust. And of course, you can choose to be in a different spot to target the unit you want with greater efficacy. I think this is working well under the hood so far. And this is not a fluff piece. I was ready to be having any reaction. This is not a sponsored playthrough. I'm just telling you how I think about these games. And many of you may remember that 2 years ago I started Age of Empires 4 and I was very excited about the game. I thought I'm going to main that game forever. That's how much fun I was having with it. But nonetheless, nobody could deny that there were many engine problems, targeting problems under the hood, and the game was good despite of it. Here, I haven't even talked to you about the gameplay loop yet. The core gameplay loop of build-up, economy management, army countering system, the creeping of taking these neutral camps and so on. I haven't talked about that, but I'm just looking at the engine first, and so far that part at least is quite good. So now let's see what happens when I kill the ship with units in it. In Warcraft 3, the units will drop to the floor and be stunned for a bit, but in StarCraft, all the units die.
Reverse healing engaged.
Oh, I forgot
I did
about that. They do drop out in Warcraft.
Expect this outcome. I do feel like the game is more like StarCraft and less like Warcraft 3. Now, actually, let's look at unit veterancy.
I actually prefer that, by the way. I like the high stakes of drops and that you can lose everything. But I guess in Warcraft, if you lost everything with a drop, you don't have anywhere near as many units, right? So that would just be like game ending. But at least having them, you know, damaged and stunned coming out is different.
Yeah, they're slowed, not stunned. Let's look at unit veterancy if I still have any units that
By
have
the way, look at how much
veterancy,
smoother
because
the game is
this
working
is a
now.
soft, hero-like system in that when you kill units, you can gain veterancy.
What's the sitch? What's the sitch? No time. No time.
Look at the micro, man.
So micro feels very smooth now that the lag has been dealt with. Micro feels a lot of fun. Very microable. Units are very responsive.
Ready for anything. What's the sitch? Sure thing.
So you're gonna see a lot of like cool micro plays. I'm finding that when I hold shift and I draw a box over a unit, it deselects the unit, which is exactly what you want.
What's the sitch?
In some games, you need to specifically shift
Can you do that in StarCraft 1? I don't even know, actually. Shift, I don't know.
the
I'll
left
test
click
that.
to take it out of its current selection, right? And here you can hold shift and box deselected. Does that work on multiple units? No. And you wouldn't want it to either. it doesn't do this in the best of games either. And that's because normally when you hold shift and you box, you want to include everyone in the group that's not already in it, like so. But if you happen to want to use, let's say,
Talk to me.
well, let's call it fat fingering, instead of like shift clicking this guy,
Talk to me.
let's stand still for a bit. Instead of shift clicking this guy to remove
Talk to
him,
me.
but you just want to do a rough click and you know there's no one else there, then it will allow you to deselect. This is again a very smart example of a system and a developer that understands all the different ways that people may want to play the game,
What's the sitch?
and it saves you from mistakes, and it allows for luxury things like deselecting this. That's pretty cool. Hey, I had to step away for a bit. Are the lag issues better? Yep. Our engineers pushed out a fix. Yep, it's a lot better now. I didn't even notice when it disappeared. Isn't that the irony of when things are working well, people don't notice, and when things aren't working well, everyone
What's
notices?
the sitch?
So thankless to fix it.
Double time.
In fact,
What's the
you may
sitch?
want to...
Double time.
Would you be able to test moving shot? Yeah, sure.
I'm going. I'm going. I'm going. Sure thing. I'm going. I'm going.
So you can see that it is actually possible for me to
Locked and loaded. Sure thing.
stutter step. I get this sensation that I'm canceling my own attack on some of them.
It's
But is that really happening? Am I doing it too fast, or is it because some of them weren't in range yet? I think it's because some weren't in range.
Sure thing.
Because if I am in range...
It's on.
No, it is... Okay,
Double time.
so let's talk about attack point. Attack point is the name for how much pre-swing there is, how much animation needs to complete in order for an attack to land successfully. And the reason attack point is good and that you don't instantly complete an attack the moment you even start
I think
it.
that sound effects that's playing after the kill is the veterancy going up. So if I understand correctly, there's like a mild like leveling up system.
Is for balance and gameplay feel and design feel. So it is nice that there's a kind of, you know, it's both for balance and for the design as well,
Talk to me.
right? So
Sure thing.
if you do not complete enough of the pre-swing, the attack doesn't happen.
Talk to me.
You see this in Warcraft 3 as well, in that if a unit goes out of range before you complete the attack animation, the attack ends up missing. So what I'm doing here is I'm giving a new command too quickly, and therefore the attack never lands. But if I get a good feeling for it, then I can do proper stutter step,
Sure thing.
like
It's on.
like this.
I'm going.
And I need to understand how often they can attack, of course.
Locked and loaded. Sure thing.
It depends on their attack speed, because obviously, if I do it again and they can't attack yet, because this is their real attack speed. This. Wait, let's just use one. This is his attack speed. So the space between those attacks is how long I'm allowed to move.
What's the sitch? It's on. Locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. It's on.
Before shooting again.
Locked and loaded. It's on. It's on. Double time.
So that works pretty good.
Sure thing. Double
It feels
time.
pretty good.
I'll stick to
Right?
you like glue. Talk
And
to
we've
me.
also achieved veterancy on some units. And so what does veterancy does? I don't actually know, but I guess it's a health armor damage boost or
Talk to
something.
me.
So here's a normal exo, and it says rank 0 initiate, which is the same rank termage that Warcraft 3 has.
What's the sitch?
And he's a veteran, rank 1 veteran. So here we see veterancy. Rank 1 veteran unlocked. Yo, thanks for the subs, guys. Appreciate it. Normally, backswing is something you can cancel, by the way, in games.
I aim to please.
So this thing, that's his backswing. Can I cancel that?
Sure
Yes,
thing.
I can.
I'm going. Ready for anything.
And is there turn speed in the game?
Sure thing. I'm going. Double time. I'm going.
I'm trying to determine if there's turn speed or if it's instant. And I think there is turn speed, but it's quite fast, at least for this unit. How far can you zoom out? This far.
Talk to me.
There's no turn speed?
What's the sitch?
Either a little bit or almost none at all. I think there's a very quick turn speed. So anyway, veterancy. 30 health, 10% weapon damage. 30 health, 10% weapon damage for elite, and then champion 30 health, 10% weapon damage. 10% weapon damage is what you get from Warcraft 3 upgrades. Anytime you make like a unit upgrade, that's what you get. And 30 health on a base of 150 is actually 20% survivability. So just getting Veterancy based on the XP that it gets, which is a nice little satisfying clunk sound and an animation as you get it. This is worth more than 2 Warcraft 3 upgrades, getting Veterancy.
That's
And
really
then
interesting,
elitism
because that
and-
means you really don't want to throw units away with this faction. Huh. Yeah, that's
Championship are worth
that's
that
going to really impact how people
same
play it.
amount, and the percentage is consistent, but the health is actually a smaller percentage on their current health every time subsequently. And the amount of XP you need to
Do
get...
they have to last hit to rank up? I actually don't know. That's a good question. I hadn't even thought of that. What am I going to do the next Skid Chameleon stream? Man, that's a throwback. Maybe one day we'll do some of the old school classics. Right now we're doing all RTS. Glad to see me on YouTube. Yeah, man. Second multi-stream ever. Good to be back on here with you guys. A lot of people on YouTube watching. 160 people watching on YouTube. We got about 300 people on Twitch. Very cool. Welcome, everybody.
600 for Veterancy, and then you need 800 for Elite, and then you need another 1,000 for Champion, so it adds steps of 200.
Ready for anything.
Can you rank up by killing your own units? Probably
doubt
not,
it.
right?
Ready for anything.
Probably not. So how much XP does a unit give? And do they all get the same amount of XP? Or does it benefit...
I'm going.
Does it get split? 762?
Double time. Sure thing. Sure thing.
762, 862. He got 100. What if there's 2 killers?
Ready for anything. I'm going. Sure thing. Double time. Double time. I aim to please. Double
Let's see what if there's 2 killers. Will they both get 50 or will they both get 100?
Talk to me. What's the sitch?
640,
Ready for anything.
well, 1183.
Locked and loaded. I aim to please. Sure thing. I'm going.
640? Wait a
What's the
minute.
sitch?
I think they have to last hit.
What the hell?
Talk to
640?
me.
He got 20? And
Talk
this
to
guy
me.
went from 1183 to 1263. So he got 80 and he got
What's
20.
the sitch? Talk to me.
So do you get more for last
80
hitting?
20. So instead of 100 to 1, it was 80 20. Oh, kills give 80% and assists give
Congrats
20%?
for
Okay,
5,000
I'm so glad you're
Denmark.
just breaking this math down. I'm way too stupid to understand this. Noper2, thank you for the tier 1. Welcome to the channel, man.
In Dota,
Thank
your
you, dude.
gaming mind is impeccable. Smile. I salute your viewers also. Great people around. Salute all.
So this incentivizes last
Maybe
hitting. This is really interesting. I didn't understand this. Again, none of this is necessarily permanent, but that's really interesting with how this race functions.
One gets a 20 assist and the killer gets 80. Let's see.
What's the sitch?
660, 1283. Thank you so much, Poker Agent. 902.
What's the sitch?
Damn it, he keeps sending units. Don't kill my veterans.
Talk to me. What's
Okay,
the
quick.
sitch?
820,
Ready for anything.
1040, 1303,
What's the sitch? Talk to
902.
me.
Let's
Talk
go.
to me. Ready for anything. I'm going. It's on. What's the sitch? I'm going.
Kind of useless in an RTS? No. This means that if you keep a unit alive for longer, it will be stronger if it's killing stuff and getting things done.
I'll stick to you like glue.
Okay.
Sure thing. What's the sitch?
I don't remember the numbers.
Talk to me.
Do you
Ready for
remember?
anything. Talk to me.
Quick, before they
What's
die.
the sitch?
No.
What's the sitch? I'm going. Talk to me.
820. Yeah.
Talk
Okay.
to me.
But.
Double time.
Yeah, 820, 140.
What's the
Okay,
sitch?
820. Oh,
Talk to
now I
me.
killed something else. Okay, let's go for a real game.
Hey, this math is breaking my brain. That's going to be it for that video. Do check out Grubby's channel. If you don't know who Grubby is, I mean, you really are not truly an RTS fan. He's one of the greatest RTS players of all time, but incredible at Warcraft 3. I'm really curious to see how well he's going to do if he does choose to compete. He's a really strong player. Check out his YouTube. Check out his Twitch stream. I'll leave the links for that in the description. I will be casting DreamHack Atlanta. I'm leaving in 2 days. So, in fact, I might already be in Atlanta when this video is uploaded. We'll see. But that broadcast, I think, is going to be on the 17th. So be sure to check that out. This shirt that says Gosu. See that? Everything's 10% off on my merch site, tastelessthreads.com. You can also find that in the YouTube description. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in a future video. We got a lot more good Stormgate and StarCraft content just around the corner. Bye-bye.